On the spot news media, we got the latest news. We don't care about the views, we just representing right. Put local news internationally every night. On the spot, wave that Jamaican flag from left to right. Let's get it right, y'all know the type. We ain't dealing with the hype, we make it take flight.
Yeah man, my viewers and subscribers, what go on. A blessed and wonderful Tuesday morning to each and every person out there tuning into On The Spot News Media. Now my peeps, you don't know how we do it over on this side each and every morning. We have to give thanks and praise to the Most High Creator for the preservation of life, because life is indeed the greatest. So in the morning, my peeps, I have a few stories to share with you, the regular members of Chan Public and also members of the diaspora. So please like the video, share the video, watch the entire vlog so you can get a full understanding and a better appreciation of everything we are going in Jamaica. So watch this now, my peeps. We're going to kick it off in the morning with some crime statistics. Then of course we get into our two main stories. So the Jamaica Constabulary Force has released that there has been almost a 15% decline in knockings and clappings, resulting in the loss of life of our people. The latest statistics coming from the Jamaica Constabulary Force shows 173 knockings and clappings resulting in the loss of life of our people since the start of the year, and that's from January 1 to that of March 2nd. This compares to 203 recorded for the similar period last year, 2023. The St. James Police Division continues to hold the dubious honor of being the most murderous police division, recording 26 homicides so far this year. That's the same number recorded for the corresponding period last year. So the St. Andrews South Police Division has recorded 17 loss of life. That's 6 more than the review period last year. Murders have also increased in the parishes of Trelawney, St. Elizabeth, the St. Andrews Central Police Division, and the St. Andrews North Police Division when compared to that of 2023. In the meantime, the regular knockings and clappings has increased by almost 8%, coming in at 167 so far this year. That's 12 more than the number recorded for the review period last year. However, other major crimes such as the grapists, the hold on and take type of situation, robberies and break-ins have all declined. So anyway, my peeps, make we move on. Now over there in the troubled, war-torn, crime-riddled Westmoreland Police Division, the police division dubbed to be the second most murderous. Yeah man. I covered this story presently on your screen briefly of this 16-year-old female identified as Akita Dennis, who was brutally taken out in a hail of bullets by a man said to be her ex-boyfriend in the wee hours of Saturday night. Now the man in question is presently on your screen, identified as Jerome McNeil, who is said to be in his early 30s. Jerome McNeil was listed as a person of interest following Akita's knockings and clappings that claimed her life over there in Little London, Westmoreland. No information reaching On The Spot News Media is that Akita was on her way from work. Yes, she was on her way from work at 16. Now one may be wondering, why was she even working at that age and coming home from work at such a time of the night? Now I saw an interview, a CVM interview with her family member. They cited that they were having financial issues, hence the reason why she decided to stop going to school and getting a job. But anyway, make we continue. So she was coming home from work. Her present boyfriend met her at the taxi stand and walked her to her yard. It is said that both persons, the present boyfriend and Akita, was sitting on their veranda when they were approached by the ex-boyfriend. The ex-boyfriend then opened gunfire, hitting both of them. Akita and the present boyfriend was rushed to the hospital, where Akita was pronounced you know what. The present boyfriend was treated and released from the hospital without the police being informed. Now, I will most definitely be addressing that also, as that in itself is now a serious concern and a matter that needs to be addressed. But we're going to hear from the commanding officer of the Era 1 Police. That's Assistant Commissioner of Police, Clifford Chambers, as he weighs in on this latest spate of violence affecting the area under his control. Listen.
She had a relationship with her neighbor, a young man by the name of Jerome McNeil. And the information provided is that that relationship came to an end some time ago, but he apparently wasn't having it. She had since moved on in another relationship with someone else, but I think given the proximity of both she and him, it continued to create some problem because they're in fact neighbors. And this young man, McNeil, is a known criminal. He has a firearm. We have done several policing operations, but we're unsuccessful in recovering such firearm. And he's also known to be a lottery scammer. We issued an all-point bulletin and advised that he turned himself in with his attorney, and that was acted on. I won't say at this stage whether he came to the station, but with reference to the allowance provided by his attorney, that was good that he made McNeil available to us, and he's now in custody. So we have an arrangement that if a person goes to the hospital with a gunshot injury, before he's discharged, the police officers at least should be contacted. So here we have the boyfriend injured, treated, and released. And now we've got the information that he might have been a person of interest in crimes that might have been committed in the corporate area. So we really have to tighten up on this aspect of how some institutions do their thing. We know that they're overwhelmed, yes, but this man could possibly be a wanted person in another jurisdiction. So this is not being looked at. Akita was a troubled child. Probably based on socialization, she was kicked out of school a few times, and with the school resource officer construct and with the community outreach program in that particular space of Pop Lincoln, Little London, the officers got involved and tried to intervene with regards to her behavioral issues. And I think that's part and parcel that led to she being exposed to some training that would facilitate her being able to be self-employed. Now, there's a thin line between her age and being able to employ. I take it that she is over 16, so there might be some allowance there. I'm not too keen on the legislative arrangement there. But from all indications, she has been trained and she's taking up employment.
So now, my peeps, from all indications, 16-year-old Akita Dennis was a troubled teen who sought relations with known criminal elements. The boyfriend is a known criminal element, and the ex-boyfriend, as the police clearly stated, is a known criminal element. Now, the commissioner did not definitively say, because he was being very careful with his words, but you heard when he said that the hospital treated and released the present boyfriend without informing the police, and that he might have been a person of interest in the corporate area. Now, information reaching on the Spot News Media is that the present boyfriend is an importee from the Maxfield area in Kingston. So we all know where Maxfield is in Kingston. So the 38-year-old present boyfriend is from that era. He has since been identified only by his alias as Six or Shooty. It is said that he left the Maxfield Avenue area to seek coverage, so to speak, to hide from the long arm of the law in Kingston. And he came to Little London in Westmoreland to seek refuge. So he is also a known criminal element. So what happened is that she broke up with the farmer, which is the ex-boyfriend, and sought a brand new relationship with the newest Nackis and Clappis in town. So the farmer, Nackis and Clappis, Jerome McNeil, would not have it and decided that he might go slap away the new Nackis and Clappis, the importee, because he knows for sure if him slap away the new Nackis and Clappis, nobody now go to get at him for that because he's a stranger to the area. So it is said that the female was definitely not the intended target, but she ended up pick up a few can and hers were fatal. So it is said that Jerome McNeil went for slap away the new man, so to speak. Yeah, man, and end up firing indiscriminately so and can up his ex-girlfriend, leaving her lifeless, no longer among the land of the living. Now I just hope that other young teens listening to the voice this morning will take her life as a living example of what you're not supposed to be or what you're not supposed to become. You make foolish decisions. Those foolish decisions comes with consequences. And Akita Dennis paid the ultimate price with her life. Yeah, man. So in a way, make we get into the last story. Now, over the weekend, another fatal knockings and clappings go on again. But this time over there in the troubled community of Bayshore Park. In recent times, we have seen many lives lost in that particular community. And boy, may I tell you, my peeps, the knockings and clappings continues. Yeah, man. Now on your screen is the latest fatality. A man identified as Rayfield Barrow, said to be a 45-year-old tractor operator off Balkan Avenue in Bayshore Park, Harborview. He was taken out in a hail of bullets by criminal elements over the weekend. Yeah, man. He was taken out on Sunday, March 3rd, sometime around 8 o'clock in the evening. Now this took place, as I stated earlier, on Balkan Avenue in Easy Street. Now information received is that the now deceased man known as Rayfield was making some sort of repairs to a motor truck that he had parked along the roadway in front of his address. It is said that a white motor vehicle resembling that of a Toyota Probox drove up with armed criminal elements aboard. It is said that the criminal elements were armed with high-powered weapons and also handguns. It is said that the criminal elements spun around and faced him and alighted from that vehicle and just knock it and clap it on him all over his body multiple times, leaving him lifeless. Now it is said that the criminal elements allotted unto him over 20 can pierce his upper body and head. So the man them definitely make sure say them done him. Yeah, man. Now I'm gonna play a video clip for you. Then of course we're gonna get into the meat of the matter. This video clip is basically just to show that Rayfield Barrow, age 45 years, is definitely no angel with a halo or in a white wing round and back a flap. Now I want to look closely on what Rayfield handed that man. Yeah man, I'm going to show you it again so you can look and see for yourself. Rayfield is most definitely not a saint. Now that you saw what Rayfield handed to that other criminal element there, no information reaching on the Spot News Media is that a hit was placed on Rayfield's head, and that is coming from a continuation of gang conflict within the space of Bayshore Park community. Now on the Spot News Media has received information that Rayfield was receiving death threats from members of the Crusher gang, who had earlier stated that Rayfield was involved in the knockings and clappings of this man presently on your screen, identified as Maurice Yard, otherwise known as Indian, who was taken out in a hail of bullets by criminal elements on Sunday, February 18th. So you know, so that is most definitely not too long ago. Now the war we are going in a Bayshore surrounds a known criminal element that I've spoken about on many occasions, who is presently behind bars. He has since been identified as Orlando Campbell, otherwise known as Lucas, or Torment, or Killy, as some may call him. It is said that Rayfield has been a close associate of him and was very instrumental into taking out Indian. Now, Indian himself was most definitely not a saint either. Now, as it relates to Rayfield's knockings and clappings, on the Spot News Media get to understand that his sons carried out that knockings and clappings, or at least paid to have it done. Now, one of his sons is presently in America who is funding the ongoing gang war. But his son, who is presently on the ground, who is now on the run, is this criminal element here presently on your screen. An older picture, meaning a younger version of him. He's a little bit older now, so he may look a little bit different. You don't know them criminal element that deal with it. Sometimes they are rastas, dread, and the next time them are bald. This minute them black, the next minute them brown. So we're not sure if he's looking exactly like this, and it's not one of the best pictures, but for who know him would most definitely know that yes, I him that. He has since been identified as Peter Wang, that is alias, in the streets. Now this son is a noted and reputed knockis and clappis who is hell-bent in the continuation of the ongoing gang war in the Bayshore Park community. Now residents living in and around that community, be he very, very careful, because now that Rayfield life is taken, trust and believe that Lucas, as some of you may know him as, or Torment, or he's best known in the criminal underworld as Killy, will most definitely be mobilizing his set of criminal elements, his set of knockis and clappis, his set of corner boys to take revenge for the knockings and clappings of Rayfield. Yeah man. So be he and she very, very careful. So anyway, my peeps, remember to like, share, subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned to On The Spot News Media as I continue to bring you fresh news and updates in subsequent newscasts. On The Spot News Media. Yeah man.